Dr. Hayek, I think if there's one area in which I disagree with you slightly, it is that we were discussing about intellectuals. And I guess it is that I see something a little more sinister about them than you do. Isn't it significant that as you watch the intellectual classes, they tend to move the society always in one direction, that is towards more regulation, towards more intervention, towards more politicization of the economy. And that you notice on campuses, at least the campuses I'm familiar with, an enormous resistance by very bright people to what are really fairly basic and simple ideas of economics, which suggests, may suggest that something more than intellectual error is at work.
Is it really? You know, the resistance against being guided by something which is unintelligible to them is, I think, quite understandable in an intellectual. Go back to the origin of it all. Descartes, of course, explicitly argued only that we should not believe anything which we did not understand. But he applied it, and his followers immediately applied it, that we should not accept any rules which we did not understand. And the intellectual has very strongly this feeling that what is not comprehensible must be nonsense. And to him the rules he is required to obey are unintelligible and therefore nonsense. He defines rational almost as intelligible. Anything which is not intelligible to him is automatically irrational, and he is opposed to it.
Well, I'll give you an example. Among academic economists and among academic lawyers who deal with economics, antitrust, for example, there has been an enormous acceptance of certain theories about oligopoly, about concentrated industries, that where you have 3, 4, 5, 6 firms in a market, they will behave without colluding necessarily as a monopolist would behave. They will learn to act together as if they were a monopolist. There seems almost no evidence for that theory, but it's enormously popular. And it seems to me, without a predisposition on the part of intellectuals to dislike the private sector and to dislike freedom in the economic sphere, that theory could hardly have become as popular as it has become.
Yes, but that dislike, I think, is due to it being unintelligible to them. They want to make it intelligible, translucent to them. They think nothing can be good unless it's demonstrated to you that in the particular case it achieves a good object. And that, of course, is impossible. You can only understand the structure as the principle of it, but you couldn't possibly demonstrate that in the particular event, the particular change has a purpose, because it always is connected with the whole system, which is a whole. You can only understand in principle, but not in detail. So I think I would give them the benefit of the doubt, at least. I think in most instances it's a deeply ingrained intellectual attitude which forces them to disapprove of something which seems to them intelligible and to prefer something which is visibly directed to a good purpose.